Hello everyone, welcome to Tuesday at 10 at Dunebrook. We're so excited to have you join us, and it is December 14th. Can't even believe it. We're so excited to have our guest, Mr. Joe Coar with Tonn Blank, and a friend and founder and totally excellent rock star who has helped bring Dunebrook from its beginning to where we are now. And we're so excited to hear from Joe in a little bit about his relationship with Dunebrook. And just Joe's a lot of fun to be with, so we just want to talk about Joe a little bit too. So thank you for joining us today. Dunebrook, of course, we do child abuse prevention and intervention. Our programs are running very well. Our Child Advocacy Center is still doing one-to-one safe distancing with the interviews for children and the beginning of the healing process for families. Our Healthy Families, instead of going into the homes, are doing those virtually, and that's working very well. In public education, we're in the schools, both one-on-one in some classrooms, depending upon what the school is doing, and also virtually with videos. So we've done a knockout job of continuing our services. And before we start with Joe and hearing about Joe and his life, and it's very, very interesting, and we're so appreciative of everything he's done for Dunebrook. We're going to start with Miss Lisa Scheller, our part-time development director, who's going to give us a little update, Lisa, on what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. So good morning and happy December 14th. And just want to say, during the last couple of months, we have been focusing on giving back. And we have received such tremendous amount of support from the community who have stepped forward to help us during these times. So we just want to say thank you to those who participated in the year-end campaign. It was a 3-part campaign, and we did the annual year-end letter we sent out, and we've already raised double of what our budget was of $12,000 we've raised to date. So we're very thankful for that. We're also thankful for, we just ended last Thursday our first holiday online auction, in which we put together a kind of last minute thing, see how that would go.
Thank you, Lisa. And thank you, Megan.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was great, the support. $1,800 we raised from that. So we started small, and we know it's something that has been very successful for us. And then the last thing I want to thank is those who gave to our Giving Tuesday on December 1st. So over the past month, we have received donations from Franciscan Health, from Sister Petra and her group, and diapers
big,
and
huge
wipes.
Load of diapers.
Yes, absolutely, truckload. And also the Long Beach Cove tenants, they did a fundraiser, and they brought in items, coats and wipes and things like that. K Jewelers supported us by giving us some donations of plush little stuffed animals to hand out to our clients who have come in, which has made a world of difference. So we just want to thank those who have given to us, because we are feeling very blessed at this time of the year. So yeah.
Lisa, thank you so much. And we know it's such a very difficult time for so very many people, but we appreciate any amount of giving, and people have been so generous because they know that our clients are in such need, particularly right now. So thank you, Lisa.
And if you're listening and you want to participate, you can just go to our website. There's a button on there that says Holiday 20, and you can push that button and you can donate. You can even text Holiday 20 to 41444, and that donation will go through too. So any amount would be appreciated. $5, $10, $25, $50, whatever you feel the need to give at this time. There's a lot of people in the giving spirit, and just know how blessed they've been. So we appreciate any support for that.
Lisa, thank you so very much. So without further ado, we have our legendary Mr. Joe Coar. Joe, welcome.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
Oh my gosh, it does our heart good to have you back in the building.
Well, I appreciate you asking me to attend today, and hopefully I share a lot of history with you as we go forward. So.
Well, Dunebrook is 32 years old, and Joe was instrumental, as was Tonn Blank, and a myriad of people that Joe will talk about. So maybe just start out, Joe. Tell us a little bit about you, though, and your family, and Betty. And
my wife, Betty, who totally supports my efforts. I currently am a consultant for Tonn Blank. This is year 54 for me. I started in 1967 as a cabinet maker, and grew up from that into Vice President of Operations, which I held probably for 40 to 54 years. I have to tell you, when I retired and I signed right back up for duty the very next day, It was one of the best things I could ever done. So I'm on a lot of special projects currently, and I have complete support with John Gilmore. He was nice enough to have me keep. He was smart. He had me keep my office, so I'm right next to him. And quite honestly, what we're doing today with the modular factory that we're getting ready to start and take off down in Westville is something that both of us are extremely proud of, and all the team members at Tonn Blank. So I have 2 children here in Michigan. One's in Michigan City, one's in Phoenix, Arizona. A granddaughter in Phoenix, Arizona. Then we have 2 more grandchildren in New Jersey, and a daughter in New Jersey. So we get around quite a bit. So we have been very, very fortunate. When we started years ago, we're sitting just about right now in an area where the existing house, which was an insulation company, Charlie Morgan's house, years ago, 32 years ago. And we started by coming in, and a guy by the name of Glenn Lubeznik went to Tonn Blank, and he said, he was on the board at the time for Dunebrook. He said to Tonn Blank, could you help us put this facility together? So I naturally got the phone call from my boss, and he said, would you help? So when I came out here, it was during a time when, not necessarily for Tonn Blank, but a lot of tradespeople were not even getting a paycheck because work was so bad there wasn't any work going on. Yet the participants that we had come to this facility originally, mostly all were union building tradespeople who were not making a living, spending their own gas money to come here and actually remodel the old house that started out to be Dunebrook. And that went quite well. During that same time, we received a phone call here at Dunebrook under the first deal 30-some years ago. And that phone call was a historical young lady that was on the phone that just had some type of abuse. And I immediately picked up the phone and handed that right to Diane Dibke, who was director in them days, and said, Diane, I'm a builder. This isn't something I can handle. But what I'll share with you is when I got the phone call, it certainly put something down in my heart and my thinking that what we're doing here is for a reason and for a cause. And it's a very good cause. And what Dunebrook has done over the years to help the residents, certainly of LaPorte County, is just terrific. And it just keeps on going. So shortly after that, probably 10, 12 years down the line, I lose track of time, Les Radke, who was one of the original founders. Les was a tremendous guy, and Les was a guy that was very, very positive. He wouldn't take no for an answer, and he got me involved with 2 or 3 different things that he wanted to do in the community, and he was a great guy to donate his time under some very difficult physical circumstances. So I got to know Les quite well, and there came a time when Les said, and Diane, how can we expand Dunebrook? So I got a call, come out, met with the board of directors. And during that time, I went through and I realized that the existing building that we had remodeled 15 years prior had 3 to 4 desks in a room that was 10 by 10. Mm. So you could certainly see the need for expansion. Mm-hmm. Now the question is, how are we going to get there? So I went back to Tonn Blank, and with the help of our president, John Gilmore, put a price together on the overall Dunebrook the way you see it today. And quite honestly, I think we shocked Les and Diana and the entire board. Mm-hmm. Certainly the funds were not there to put the facility together. Mm-hmm. So I suggested that maybe we break it down in 3 phases. Maybe we do the first one, the addition to grow our administration side of this, so you have more room for your help. And then the second part of it would be to tear down the existing house and go over the top of it. And the third option was to actually do the meeting room and a conference room that sits on the other end of the facility here. Doing that one last, because we really didn't have to have that. It was something that we would like to have. Mm-hmm. So here's what happened, and this happened for a lot of reasons. Certainly the support from Tonn Blank, a lot of the contractors that we worked through for the years, the local community, the building trades, they donated tremendous amounts of hours. We worked this particular job from 7 days a week until it actually was finished. And because of all those efforts, And because of things like Michigan City Mayor Chuck Obley calling up GAF at the time and getting us the shingles for this facility at no charge. And then a phone call to the building trades in South Bend who covers the roofing in this area. They came out on a Saturday and roofed the whole complex at no charge. That's the reason we were able to, that's just one case, that's the reason we were able to put the facility together and finish all 3 phases. And that's kind of how we got here.
Wow.
So it was a lot of cooperation, and I tell you, we had state police, we had local police, we had judges. We had all different types of people, and we didn't single anybody out whatsoever.
Yeah.
And Diane and I had a theory that whoever would come and donate their time, we would put their name on a plaque, whether they give $10,000 or 2 hours of time, because at the end of the day, it's the people that, just because they may not have the finances to donate, but if they donated their labor, you got to put a figure behind that. We had people that probably had close to 1,500 man hours.
Wow.
And keep in mind, they're doing full-time jobs somewhere else, so that means they doubled their duty. And how they got there, they worked every Saturday and Sunday, and they came in at nights.
Gosh.
So that's how the complex got built, and that's why at that time it was affordable.
Joe, can I just say thank you? Thank you for all of that work. Thank you for being the liaison to making that all happen. Thank you for helping people understand that phone call from that client, because I think some people don't understand the desperateness of so many people that are needy with regard to support in raising a family and being a parent and just managing life, let alone disciplining a child. But how do you manage your family if you're out of a job, or you're getting kicked out of your apartment, or you need food and clothing? What do you do? So it's interesting for me to hear you say all of those people that volunteered must have had some understanding of that need.
Oh, I think everybody that came here had an understanding. There wasn't anybody that was disappointed when they would come here and donate their time and labor to help put this facility together. It could be a doctor, it could be a dentist, it could have been a judge, it could have been a building trades person. It really did not matter. What mattered to them was to get the facility in operation and get it going for the reasons that you just said. And the importance of Dunebrook to me is that you help the community in so many different ways. I sat back and I think when we did the first expansion, and as I said, we had like 12 people sitting in a room here, 3 to a room, sometimes 4, and then we expanded and we went from, I think, somewhere around 50. I'm not sure what you have today. But when you think of the increase of 50 people and what you're taking care of, LaPorte County is the second largest county in the state. So you have a big job on your hands if we're going to help in a relationship to abuse, which we really stand for. It's an easy thing to consider, and it's an easy thing to get people to donate their time. So.
And I know, Joe, that you're on a lot of boards and you get the big picture of our community. And what I would want to say to someone like, so appreciative of Tonn Blank and your role in coordinating with them, but the fact is that when we have parents who are dysfunctional in knowing how to parent, it erodes at the child, which erodes at discipline problems, which erodes at dropout at school, which erodes at increased substance abuse, increased mental health, and crime in our community. So it really goes from A to Z. So if we can get that in the beginning and prevent that by supporting needy parents, it helps our entire community. Because I know trying to get businesses to come to LaPorte County, we need to be as healthy as we can be.
Right, absolutely. And quite honestly, you're one of the keys to economic development in LaPorte County. We can't develop our county if we have a bunch of chaos and people doing the wrong thing. But if they see people coming out of our state and wanting to do something in LaPorte County and put a business together, they're much more apt to pick LaPorte County if they know that these systems are in existence. And Dunebrook plays a big part in that. Now, how do you measure something like that? I don't think it's possible to measure. I don't think it's possible in a lot of cases to measure everything that you would do here at Dunebrook. What I do know is that if it's less cases that go before our judges in LaPorte County, you have been very successful. And that's how you measure it. And I couldn't be more proud to have been involved day one. the other thing I would like to mention is that the involvement from your board of directors.
Yeah.
I was on your board quite a while, president
Yeah.
2 times. And I got to tell you, from the original board that believed in Joe Coar and John Gilmore when we were given the sale pitch of doing the 3 phases, and that we would try to get as much help as we could and get as much of it donated that we could. If the board at that time would have said, I don't think so, you wouldn't be sitting here today.
Right.
Yeah.
And the other part of the success story is, I think, is your ongoing boards that you have. I know the boards that you've had since I've retired from it have been very, very good, and they've been very, very helpful.
Yeah.
They help you raise funds to keep you going. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that people don't realize. They just see this going down Johnson Road and they said, "Oh boy,"
Yeah.
In the early stages, they thought we housed children here,
Right.
and the mothers.
And some people
They didn't
still
have
do
a clue.
think
They
that,
probably still do.
because we
Right.
went out
Right.
doing some pitches,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, yeah."
So, Jean Ann, on your side of the fence, it's extremely important for all of us and survival for Dunebrook to make sure you have a good rapport with the businesses in the community in LaPorte County. Without doing that, it's very difficult for you to select and try to go after funds that are available. But I commend you because you've done a great job doing that.
Thank you.
And you need those funds in order to keep operating here.
Right.
I remember years ago when Diana Dipke and I were on board. I'm going to toot the horn for a little bit for Duneland Health Council.
Yay, Duneland Health.
Yay.
And Diana.
And Diana, quite honestly, Dan, I had a report, and I didn't realize at the time how valuable that report was because I wasn't on the Duneland Health Council board at the time. I got put on years later by Bud Ruby. And excellent group of people. And Duneland Health is an organization that gives to grants and for the right reason. Gil Pontius is our president, Camia is our director, and we have a great group of board of directors, very consistent and everything, and do a wonderful job. Norm Steider, who's not with us anymore, Norm was very instrumental on the Duneland Health side as director, helping Dunebrook financially over many, many years. And I can share with you, and I'm pretty sure I'm right with this, and that is Dunebrook probably is the second largest participant of grants that have come out of Duneland Health Council over the years. So I just wanted to make sure that we toot the horn a little bit for Norm Steider, who passed here a few months back, and what a tremendous job he did over the years, not just for Dunebrook, so many other organizations that we support.
Well, he was a wonderful man, and like yourself, like Diana, Les Radke, Franciscan, Tonn Blank, oh my goodness, all the people you mentioned. You know, I mean, because Norm and Cammie and Duneland Health have an understanding, Gil Pontius, of what we do and the effect on our community from its foundation. Thank you, Joe.
Oh, not a problem. You mentioned Franciscan Alliance, and I want to make sure I say something. Sister Petra.
Yes.
I sit on the quality board for Franciscan here in Michigan City, and our meetings lately have been all Zoom or teleconference. They can't meet anymore, but nonetheless, she shared some information with us the other day in our meeting last week, and I don't think people in Michigan City understand or know how much Franciscan Alliance actually contributes to the economy and to people that can't afford to pay for health care. And those numbers are astronomical. That would shock anyone if they would see it. And if you don't mind, I have an email. I did not bring it in with me, but I'm going to forward that, Jean Ann, to you, so you can kind of get that out in the air. Just to see, this is one organization, one group of people, and they do this throughout all of their hospital facility, not just Michigan City. But when you see the millions of dollars that are donated in a year's time, we're in the millions, and we haven't got through the year yet.
Wow.
So, and I don't think a lot of people realize that. And they need to really see it. So, thank God for the Sisters Franciscan Alliance and supporting us. They came kind of at the end when we were having a grand opening here. That's
Yeah.
when the marriage was created between Tonn Blank and the sisters bought us.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't when we first started at Tonn Blank. It came shortly after.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Sister Petra has been wonderful. You know, when you talk about LaPorte County, Michigan City, LaPorte, and getting together, people like Sister Petra, Healthcare Foundation, you, Joe, I mean, you are the impetus of us working together.
Yes.
And we've heard very often that LaPorte County does a really good job of collaborating with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And Sister Petra has been part of that combination of people that gets us nonprofits together.
Yeah.
Food insecurity, for instance,
Mm-hmm.
gets us together and says, okay, who's doing what? Where do we need to fill in the gaps? How
Right.
can we? What portion of our community is needy, and how can we help?
Yes, absolutely.
And I'll tell you what, I'm so happy because years ago, I don't think we had a lot of Franciscan, or which would have been Sandy's Hospital in them
Yes,
days.
yes.
I don't think we had a lot of input.
Huh.
But I do think that has really changed on the Franciscan Alliance and the sisters. And I think Sister Petra absolutely is concerned about what happens in the county that she's in right here in the Michigan City, LaPorte.
Yeah.
So I think you'll see a real supportive part of Franciscan Alliance, not just now, but in the future.
Right.
That's awesome.
So-
Right,
Yeah,
and
they are,
she
yeah.
herself dropped off our depot for Healthy Families parents. If they learn new behavior and practice new behavior, they use points to get things, diapers. We have a depot. It's a closet with all the baby items. Sister Petra comes herself. I said I'll pick them up. No,
Yeah.
she comes herself and delivers.
She loads up these boxes and brings them up there, and I mean, just
and they were
amazing.
at our dragon boat races in their non-gar. I mean, they're
I
just a
know.
lot of fun.
Two teams. They were disappointed we
Two
weren't going to
teams.
do it this
Two
year,
teams,
but
yeah.
you know that,
Right.
how important it was. But you know,
But you
they
know
are just-
that's
yeah.
the way they're raised, and you know Sister Jane Marie, that's chairperson of corporate and everything. Betty and I have a great rapport with her. She's just a beautiful person,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
and they're focused on trying to be successful,
Yes.
and they're extremely positive.
Right.
And to see them go out in the community like that to drop off diapers. Now she
Yes.
had brought this up at the quality meeting. Sister Petra did.
Yes.
Yeah.
And God bless her, because I knew what she was doing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I know how important it is for
It
you
is.
to have
Mm-hmm.
the diapers here that you can give out and give points, and people can come in. That might make the difference between people being able to eat during the week or not.
Absolutely,
So-
absolutely.
Right.
And just the partnership we have with them as far as going in and visiting with the mothers, the first time moms, you know,
Yeah.
and just being able to give our program. you
Right,
know?
right. So, Joe, thank you. And thank you
You're more than welcome.
for being a role model in the community of what it means to give back, to have a very busy job, but a big part of your life is giving back. And, you know, I know in Michigan City and in LaPorte, young professionals are learning how to give back. But could you just speak a little bit about what that's meant to you personally?
Oh, yeah, I got to tell you, I've never, ever, on the give back part, I've ever turned anybody down.
Yeah.
I always say yes. If I have a downfall, Chuck Obley said,
Yeah.
you don't know how to say no. And he is absolutely right.
Yeah.
But in the heart, up here,
Yeah.
I have a lot of satisfaction by being able to go out and take my hands
Yeah.
and maybe talk a little bit to try to help a non-for-profit out and get them maybe to the next phase. And that's what happened with Dunebrook, and we've been very successful here because of it. And I think the younger generation should get on board and think about contributing some of their time and some of their weekends
Right.
to helping the non-for-profits out, or not non-for-profits, but maybe even their neighbor.
Absolutely.
You know, that's the way I grew up, where I lived.
Yes.
That's the way I was raised.
Right.
So it has a lot to do with how you're raised, and
Right. And it doesn't have to be, Joe. I think you bring up a really good point. Do something. You don't have to be giving
No.
$1 million or donating 20 hours a week. Do baby steps.
right,
Exactly.
absolutely.
And it takes a village. So everybody who pitches in, just like you said, to get here for Dunebrook, there was lots of people who pitched in and gave as much as they could to
Right.
make it happen.
Absolutely,
You know?
and as I said, you know, I think their acknowledgement when you come in Dunebrook and you see the names on the walls, a lot of those names are people that simply donated their labor and their time.
Yeah.
They couldn't afford
That's
to
right.
give somebody some
Right.
money, so
Yeah.
they give them time.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's as valuable, in some
Exactly.
cases more valuable,
Yeah.
than
Right.
someone giving
$5.
$5.
Right.
Or what have you. But,
Well,
you know, takes a
So
village.
yeah, so we're
Right.
very
Yeah.
very fortunate. So
Well, we're fortunate because of you,
yeah,
and
thank
we
you.
want to thank you and
Yeah.
wish you and Betty a very Merry Christmas. Is there anything else, Joe, you might want to add before we?
Boy, I don't know. I think we pretty well talked about all of it. I certainly want to make sure that Dunebrook stays successful. I hope your campaigns and what you're doing is bringing in some funds so that can happen.
It is. Thank you,
Um,
Lisa.
I think that's extremely important, and I certainly think that your name and the value of Dunebrook is probably throughout the entire LaPorte County community, and that's a very good thing.
Well, thank you.
Keep up the good work with the board of directors, the people that are supporting you. I think if that happens, the continued success will be very, very good. So,
Well, thank you.
thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to come in and say my piece. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody.
Yes, thank you, Joe.
You're
And
welcome.
thank you, everyone. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Megan. Thank you, everyone, for listening today. And really, we would like you to be kind. Be kind to yourself. As Joe said, be kind to others out in the community. It's a tough time for some people, and being patient and kind with yourself and with others seems to really help. So we wish you happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas to all. So thank you, and we'll see you next week.
Have a great day.